Greetings, everyone. I'm Lamar Phillips, band director in Detroit Public Schools Community District at King High School, and I've seen all type of students since 1994. Since I was 23, I'm now 50, and many students like Pete, but this was still very tough to watch for many of a variety of reasons, which I won't get into. So we had a number of questions. Um, My feeling about Pete's speech and development, we didn't get a chance to see him very much at third grade. I think we hear a little bit about him in the background, but we don't see the video until he hits middle school a little bit. We see a little bit in elementary, but mostly in middle school, throughout middle school. And one thing that is mentioned is that his mother says he did not have, for the first 4 years, did not have a lot of interaction with other students in the gen ed population. And it was nonverbal situation where he was in a self-contained class. So his speech was delayed. Who know? And then she also mentioned that he had possibly some hearing loss, hearing problem. And so those two combined were problematic. And so he could not speak very well. He was not very social. And this continued throughout his education career. So his matriculation from junior high to high school gave him, a lot of isolation, mostly due to socialization. The effort was there, but the behavior and lack of communication, lack of understanding of others, and their lack of understanding with him, even when they attempted to be, even when they attempted inclusion and students attempted to be understanding some of his social miscues, like grabbing the young man's food and then refusing to give it back, that will cause you to not associate well with others. And so if you're not speaking, you're not picking up clues. So both his speech and language development and interaction, as we studied in the last chapter, social interaction is important. He's getting little of it. We don't see his siblings throughout the piece, but we hear them spoken of later on. I wonder how much interaction he had with his siblings and their respective friends. So those were, I'm saying my thought about his speech and language. He did make some progress, but part of the issue was the things that I mentioned, but not being able to hear, not being able to interact. And then I'm not sure who was challenging him to stay on point. I don't know what his aides were doing in elementary school. We don't see that once he hits the gen ed population. I do believe that his aides were gentle with him and other people were type understanding. But I like when he switched over, I believe from middle to high school, the new aide was very firm, very direct. I appreciated that one. Maybe that was middle school. I don't know, but the second aide that he had was really on point. I think that was very helpful. What it could have helped him in the classroom, I believe some more. I don't know how much time he spent specifically with an SLP, but I'm talking about the younger ages. You only see it when he's older. I think being able, unfortunately, much like you do in maybe kindergarten and pre-K, when you have a lot of interaction, you see pictures of things and you see lots of examples, maybe more videos of people being in place and watching how those interactions go and what social cues and things were there. Later in one of our videos for another part of this particular module, you see that someone is showing how these two boys how to interact. He should have seen something like that, if possible. At work, I believe that the parties who were employing him or helping him do transitions were there. But I think anytime you give short, direct instruction, give examples, explicit instruction is what he needed. And I believe he did get that. But again, going back to language, I think simply going over not just the movements, but the conversation repeatedly would have made a difference. I think at home, Mom was very helpful. I didn't see dad as much. I think he should have been a lot more involved. Um, she really wanted to make sure her mindset was she wanted him to be able to function, be able to communicate with others, and able to keep a steady job. Um, a lot of times I noticed that he simply wanted independence. He wanted to do it himself. He didn't want her hands on him. She should let him struggle. Let him do what he's going to do, and then see the consequences of it, and then try again. Let him deal with it. I like how the one high school aides said, look, I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opportunities, and then you're going to go to ISS. So I think that's the same concept mom should have at home. So welcome into progress. I think, as I stated earlier, to progress his speech and language skills, and this goes to what I'm going to say about him socially, is maybe scripted interaction to practice on a regular basis. For example, towards the end, when he's learning how to get ready for the prom, all of that took steps. I mean, to be in a tux, it takes patience, but it takes you have to take steps to get there. It took me learning how to tie a bow tie. It took a minute. That was a clip on but I'm sure. But I'm just saying, consistency, very clear directions, very very formal. Sometimes you can be kind and pleasant and still be stern, or firm, I should say. And I think that's what he needed is boundaries, and I think that the boundaries and the monitoring just didn't take place early enough. But probably in the very very beginning, being able to be around others would have been helpful. But I noticed there's an old tape and old footage, and so the resources that we have now, where people can go have interaction, all those things, they probably weren't around then. The town they're in doesn't look very urban, so it could have been a lot missing. Period. So, but if he were a student today, at least in Detroit, I know there are places to go to have lots of interaction and lots of assistance, and gen ed population, special ed population work together a lot, and we had to do a report for that in our other class. So there are plenty of resources to be sure he gets the interaction to practice those things. So when he's at school, they can do that. I love how they had a mixed, the high school teacher had a mixed class and took him to the amusement park. That was very good, and the soccer team was very good for him. More of that would be important, and so teaching the other students how to interact would have had a great impact as well, and it would have helped them be more empathetic and sensitive and compassionate. So there you have it. I hope I addressed everything. Thank you very much.